We always start a formula with equal to symbol that you already know. But we can also start a formula with plus or minus sign. But I really appreciate to avoid it because these are calculative operators. Always start a formula with a neutral symbol which is equal to. Now, before I write the formula, I'll tell you one thing. Sometimes we face a name error. Remember that hashtag name question mark? I'll show you. If I type in any formula and if I press enter, this kind of error I'm talking about. Reason being, this error comes up when the name of the formula is not correct. It means that formula does not exist in Excel. The error comes up because we have a typing error. We already know the name of the formula, but still we are getting that error because we are always in so much hurry that we have to submit the report, we have to email this report, we have to do the analysis so fast, we do not have that much time. Now there is a trick behind that to avoid this error in future. What do? It has a resemblance with Google. In Google, if I search Excel training and if I misspell the training part and if I press enter, it will show me a lot of results. But at the very top, it will show me, did you mean this? Reason being because that is not a valid search. But if I type in Excel space T, it will show me a lot of results. And at the very top, it will show me one thing which is Excel training. And if I select that and then if I press enter, it will not show me, did you mean this? Because that's a valid search. Because I have selected one of the suggestions which is given by Google. The same thing happens in Excel also. If I start a formula, I can have the list of all the formula that are available with that initial. Now if I select that from the list which is given by Excel, I'll not face a name error again in future. I'll show you how we can avoid that. We'll start a formula equals to and then the name of the formula. Now I need to do the sum. So if I press S, I can have the list of all the formula which are starting with S. But the list is very big. So that's why I'm going to press U to make this list a bit short and I can see the formula which is sum over here. Now to choose this formula, I can use the down arrow or up arrow to shuffle in between the list. Now I'll highlight the formula that I want to use and then I have to press Tab key. This will open the formula for me and also supplies the open bracket which is opening parenthesis by default. Now the most important part which is known as the syntax. Anything that you can see over here is known as a syntax. And this syntax you can see number 1, comma number 2, comma number 3 and so on. Now anything which is separated by a comma is known as an argument. So number 1 is an argument, number 2 is an argument, number 3 is an argument and so on. Now it has two major logics behind it. Number 1 is bold. It means that we are standing on this argument. If I press comma, I'll jump to the next argument. It means number 2 gets bold. Now this doesn't seem very important in these small formulas, but if you talk about the major formula like nested formula, in subsequent videos we're going to do those nested formula. It means 6, 7, 8 formulas in a single formula. At that point of time, we sometimes forget that where we are standing and we forget to put a comma that leads to an error. So to avoid that, it is very important to know that where we are standing in a formula to give it a correct input. Now the second most important part about this syntax is that number 1 is not in square bracket, but number 2 is, comma, number 3, number 4, number 5 and so on. If you look at it, except number 1, any number or any argument that you can see are in square bracket. This you will find in 95% of the formulas in Excel. You may be using VLOOKUP for example. In that also the last argument is range lookup, that is in square bracket. Now the logic behind this, that any argument which is in square bracket is an optional argument. It means that you can leave that. Apart from that, in this case number 1 is mandatory and any other number that you can see is optional. I'll give an example. If you want to prepare a cup of tea, for that water and tea itself are mandatory ingredient, but sugar and milk are optional. It means if you want to prepare a cup of tea, you have to use water and tea. You cannot leave that, but you can leave sugar or milk as per your preference. The same thing happens in any formula in Excel. Here, if you are using some formula, you cannot leave number 1. But yes, you can leave any of the other number if you do not have content with you. I hope this is clear to you. Here we have in total 10 values that we need to do the sum of. But in here, 53 arguments are open. Just assume that if all these 53 would have been mandatory without square bracket, it means if you are opening this formula, we have to fill all the 53 arguments. And we have 10 numbers that we can fill in. So we can put the 10 numbers. What about the rest of the 43 numbers? We cannot leave that because that would be a mandatory number. So we have to put in 0, 0, 0, 0. But in this case, you can see everything is optional except number 1. So we can leave that. Now, if this part is clear to you, I just want to ask you one question, that if you want to do the sum, generally, you need at least 2 numbers to do the sum of. Agree? But in this case, you can see that only number 1 is mandatory. Apart from that, any other number that you can see is optional. As per that logic, what I think is that number 1 and number 2 should be mandatory. Apart from that, any other number could be optional. I hope you agree with me. But the answer is, I'll show you. We'll write the formula again. Just have a look. I'll start the formula with equal to symbol and then the name of the formula. I'll write SUM and then I'll press tab to open the formula, and then I'll select the range over here. I'll click over here and drag it till the end. Now I'm done. That is D6 to D15. Now you can see that number 1 is bold. It means we are still standing on this argument. We do not require number 2 technically. So that's the answer of my question that I've asked you. That a single argument can contain a range also, and a range can contain multiple cells. That is why only number 1 is mandatory in this case. Now the question comes up, when, in which case we need number 2. That would be when we have different range to do the sum of. Maybe column D and maybe column G also. Or maybe we need to do the sum of couple of figures in a single range. At that point of time, we would require the rest of the arguments or rest of the numbers. So at the end, this number 1 is actually not a number, but it could be a range also. It's just a label to this argument. So now the last part of writing the formula, that will close down the formula and then we'll press enter. Let's have a recap, guys. We always start a formula with equals to and then the name of the formula. We selected from the list which is given by Excel to avoid a name error by pressing tab key. Then we have a syntax underneath that. In a syntax, we have a lot of arguments. Any argument which is bold, it means it's an active argument. Any argument which is in square bracket, it's an optional argument that we can leave. Thank you.